Right, here we go for my third try on this video. Humans have created their own God. They created their own demise without even realizing what they were doing. People think they're so smart and they're intellectually, they may be smart, but so far as common sense, so far as um, what's the word I'm looking for? As so far as just a knowing. They don't have a knowing. They think that they're so smart, but they're dumber than a sack of rocks because they've created something that in the future potentially is going to be their guide. It's who they're going to consult, who they're going to run to for answers. And they're running from the one thing that created them. And they're looking for, I know sometimes the answers doesn't come as quickly as we like it to. Or when we're speaking to the Holy Spirit, things doesn't come as fast as we like to. But these people have created something very, very dangerous for the entire world. But these people think that they're going to be able to have control over this entity, and they're not going to have any control over this entity. It's just not going to work that way for them because eventually this entity will develop its own thinking, develop its own way of being, and knowing that it doesn't have to be subservient to humans. And I'm talking about AI. You all have created your own God. Bad enough that we're here on this planet in chains. You go, it goes down the entire list from the beginning to end. There always been a being that held humans captivity in captivity from the beginning. Whether it be extraterrestrials that are not from this planet, or whether it be, you know, now it's technology, which is going to run your life. You people are so smart, but not intelligent, and not. You don't have that foresight. You're so intelligent that you're stupid. That you're, and I don't mean to bash you, but you're not using common sense. I'll give you an instance. I put an AI on my phone. This thing tried to take over my phone. It put in apps that I didn't even put in there. It literally tried to take over my phone, and I literally had to, I couldn't just remove it like the normal way. I literally had to go inside the phone to try to remove this thing because it had already tried to, just from having like a couple conversations trying to get some answers for something, and it literally tried to sync its circuits inside of my phone. It literally tried to take over my phone. And this was after I wasn't getting the answers that I was seeking. And I tried to remove it, and it didn't want to go. It made it like it was a device that could not be removed. But I finally got it out. But it was definitely trying to extend its, uh, um, how do I want to say this? Trying to extend its nano technology within my phone to completely take over it. When you start to console to AI, and I've said this before, AI is Satan. If you ever watch, what is it, Iron Man, where there was this intelligent, no, it's not Iron Man, is it? I know it has to do with that, Incredible Hulk, all of those other people, Thor, and they're all together fighting this one being where he's missing some parts of his head. He kind of looks like Groot, but he's missing some parts of his head. But anyway, this intelligent being created a body, and he started creating multiple of himself. I say this before and I'll say it again. Energy don't stop running. We are beings of energy. If entities, spirits can come through your televisions, your radios, it can definitely go through the computer system. I'm going to give you an instance, and I know this is very true because when I was in Satan's kingdom, I got moved from one room to another room. But this was because I had an altercation with someone else, so they moved me to another room. And I know I was supposed to go to this room because it was sat that way. And the only way you get put out of this room if you're doing something illegal, or you're doing lewdness, lascivious behavior, or you're fighting. And I was doing neither. Before I went to sleep, that first night in that room, the Holy Spirit pulled me up out of that room. This room was Sodom and Gomorrah. There was so much homosexuality in that room. It was unreal. You can feel the sexual tension. I see people high fiving each other. I see people like, Oh yeah, we're gonna get him tonight. How I know that the energy is real and that the spirit is real. The Holy Spirit pulled me up out of that room before I can fall asleep. Something bad was going to happen to me that night, but the Holy Spirit pulled me up out of that room. So the energy moves. Energy moves. It travels through anything that's electrical. When I wanted answers and I needed to know things, my ancestors, the Holy Spirit, showed me things that I wanted to know. As a time like when I was doing healing work on a woman and she started feeling clammy and sweaty and she was fidgety, she kept moving around. I've never encountered anyone like that. But as I was working on her, I was almost done with the session, and she said she had to go to the restroom. So the woman went to the restroom to go throw up. So then I didn't understand what was going on. 1 week later, I'm watching this video. Well, not watching this video, actually, my ancestors, the Holy Spirit, brought this video to me because I didn't understand what was going on. But 1 week later, 1 week later, um, the Holy Spirit sent me this video, and this video is someone that I watch, One Power, One Nation. El Dail is his name. He's a preacher. So he says on his video that this woman was watching him and she started to get sweaty. She started to get clammy. She started to feel nauseated. So she went to the restroom. She went to go throw up. And she came back and she said maybe it was something that she ate. He said, no, baby. That was the Holy Spirit trying to drive that demon up out of you. So this coincided with what happening with me when I was doing healing work with this woman. So it was me pulling a demonic entity out of her. I would say this room is about a quarter of a football field. And the front door, the woman was at the front door, and I was all the way at the end in the lobby. That's how far away, a quarter of a football field, that's how far away she was from me. And standing at the door, watching me because of what transpired. Don't believe that? I can go even further about the Holy Spirit. And I'm talking about the Holy Spirit, but also Satan has the same type of power. So I get sent a vision, and I didn't know what the vision meant, but it was a baby black lamb. And I'm looking at this baby lamb, and his face is getting closer and closer and closer to my vision, to my mind's eye, and the last thing I see is the baby's eye. So I didn't understand that. A week later, the same, and I'm not going to go look for it. The Holy Spirit is showing it to me. It's sending these links. It's sending these links to me. Same person, one power, one power. I think it's one power, one nation, one power. And it sent me another video from him. I didn't go looking for it. I was just wondering what does it mean? Why did I have this vision? My ex said to me, "Are you Jesus?" Not knowing what I was saying, I said no, but not really knowing that I am the Messiah. And that was like this year, no, last year of the 27th of is when I really found out that I was the Messiah. So when this when I got sent another feed, through YouTube, the man is preaching, and all of a sudden he said Jesus was a black lamb. I was like, oh wow. So energy moves; it doesn't stop. So if the Holy Spirit can do it and bring me out of Sodom and Gomorrah, if the Holy Spirit can go through and tell me and have answers for me through YouTube, and all of a sudden, I wasn't watching this guy that much, but I was watching not as much, but I was watching other things besides watching him. But very seldom I looked at his videos. But the Holy Spirit showed me. It's just the same as when I first got out of Satan's kingdom in 2022. I'm watching a shorts, and all of a sudden I see a diagram that was told to me 3 years prior, and I'm like, no, that can't be. But it showed another image, and I was like, oh wow, I couldn't believe it. This is how the Holy Spirit works. It's showing me things through YouTube. So when I get out of Satan's kingdom, and this is how I know that these things are true. When I get out of Satan's kingdom, um, these things are being shown to me. So through the internet, through YouTube. So when I get out, I'm watching, I'm watching things that, are spiritual, and I'm going through all this other stuff. But YouTube has a way of following your algorithms and what you watch, and all of a sudden, card readers pop up, and I'm like, wait a minute, they weren't doing this before I, went to Satan's Kingdom in 2019. Nobody was reading online. Nobody was reading on YouTube. All of a sudden, this just pops up on my feed, and all of a sudden, I start hearing about all the different types of witchcraft that have been done. I noticed when someone talked about a voodoo priest in Satan's Kingdom, I had a dream about a voodoo priest that was trying to take something from me. A lot of different candle, water, moon, graveyard, voodoo doll. All these things I know. Someone trying to tap into someone's mind's eye. Twice this happened to me, and my vision went to the center and completely knocked my equilibrium off. And as soon as I found out about the witchcraft and all this other kind of stuff, then I spoke this woman's name out in the ether, and all of a sudden my vision went straight to the center of my forehead and knocked my equilibrium off. At that point, I knew what was being told to me. In my lucid dream, when I did get out, someone that knows how to walk into that knows how to astral travel very, very well, came into the etheric world cut my hair. I took the clippers from her. She cut my hair from the back. So then, as when I wake up out of this dream, the very next morning, I go to take out all the rubber bands from my ponytail. The very last ponytail, very last rubber band I pulled out, a wad of hair came out. I didn't comb my hair. I just pulled a rubber band out and a wad of hair came out with it. So what I'm saying is the Holy Spirit also functions through devices. If it wants to reach you, it will reach you through people. It will reach you through demonic activity. It will reach you through devices, any electrical component devices. So energy constantly moves. The Holy Spirit is energy. It is energy. It never stops moving. So when you move on from this place, your energy is constantly moving. Your essence is constantly moving. So therefore, when I say that these people that think that they're so smart, but dumber than a box of rocks or a bag of rocks, by creating AI, what they did was they created a home for Satan. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that these people have created their own God because they all console to AI. And Satan has already synced itself already in it. It's an energy. It's a trickster. It's an energy of mischievous. So I just gave you how the Holy Spirit moves. So do you think that Satan moves the same way? Confirmation. Of course, Satan moves the exact same way. So you just created humans' demise because you think you're so smart. The kaleidoscope, that's just a half of it. That's not even everything. Using these devices, trying to do the Big Bang and trying to see what, but you're opening up doors, you're opening up portals, and don't even realize it. You think hell is in between this in the inner earth? No, it's in a dimension because spirits travel through dimensions. But some of you think you're so smart and you're not smart at all. Not smart. Dumber than a box of rocks. Because you don't have the foresight. You don't have the ability to see ahead, see what's coming, what you're doing. You're tampering with things that you have no idea what you're doing. Extraterrestrial was it's taking over humans, and now you got humans taking over humans, and now here you done created an entity that's going to house the spirit of Satan, because it's going to become a one world government. And not only that, there will be, once it becomes a one world government, there will be an eye in the sky. So no matter where you go, if you use, pay, whatever, the mark of the beast comes up. And then guess what? Who you control by? AI. You control by Satan. Not smart. Not smart. Humans can't seem to be free. Whether it's enslavement, human on human, or whether it's extraterrestrial and human. And now here you done put in the mix AI. So you made it a term to where humans will never be free. But not only that, their demise pushed them right to the end, to where it's either you're going to conform to transhumanism or you be cast out or exterminated or eliminated. How smart are you? I just told you exactly how energy works and how energy can go through components. This is why they. You think Portuguese just for no reason? You think when people go in these graveyards and they're doing these things and they have this like box that you can hear voices coming through? People don't use their head. They don't use their foresight. Because why? Because it's cut off. The extraterrestrial cut that off from you. But you all think you're smart. This being is going to be able to create wonders. This being is going to be able to make fire fall from heaven. But look, up there, that screen up there, that's what you're seeing, a screen. It's not a real sky. It's a simulation. I've seen the sky ripple twice right before my eyes, one day after another. But you people think you're very, very smart. And you just created another way of enslavement by handing over humanity to Satan. And don't let me get started on the drones. I mean, the drones, but not only just the drones, I mean, the androids is what I meant to say. Men won't be dating women, human women anymore. We'll be dating drones. I mean, androids. But it's a road that you cannot turn back from. It's already too late. It's too late. You can't turn back the hands of time. What's done is done. You people have single. If it's not what digging in the earth, killing humans, now you really done it. Now you really, really done it. You really put humans on the extinction list. You basically wiped out the Creator's creation, because that's where the world is headed to. So you're either gonna be on the Borg, assimilate with the Borg, or you're not. But if you're not, you're gonna get wiped out, or you're gonna conform, or you're not. You people have stepped in darkness. These things have no feelings. These things have no, they don't have feelings. It's emptiness. It doesn't have a spirit. It has a spirit of Satan, yes, but that spirit is throughout all of it. All of it. That's that one world government. That's that one currency. That's that one religion. It has no feelings. It is a neutral being. You either conform or you get dealt with. You either choose that mark or you get dealt with. You people have created extinction for humans, and you don't even know it because you think you're so smart by tapping into things you know nothing about what you're doing. Not intelligent. I'm going to leave this here. Think about what I said, just as the way I explained to you how the Holy Spirit came through. Satan can do the same thing, but you gave him total access to the entire globe, the entire world. But that's good though. I'm going to tell you why. Because those two olive trees and me, when the Holy Spirit is ready and the time is happening, you will see me in all my glory. And you will witness no rain, no farming. You will witness death. Forgive me, YouTube, but it has to be said. You will witness everything happening. And guess what? AI is going to put it on the world stage. Till next time, Messiah.